Right on. So I just scuffed the surface of this up, so it's ready for some more color, and then should be later today. I'll be peeling off the tape and getting ready, get the back ready for the clear coat. So I'll be back in a minute. All right. So I just got done shooting this the second coat of color on there after I sanded and not really sanded. I just scuffed it down, and then I cleaned it with the surface cleaner. And man, does it look bad! See how foggy it is? It's really strange. The only thing I can think of is when I sprayed the last time, it was like freaking 90 degrees out, and now it's just barely 75. So I don't know, maybe the temperature had something to do with it. I think it goes back again to probably incorrect tip size, maybe. I don't know. I gotta wait to see if the stuff will flash off though. Headstock came out about the same way, but maybe even uglier. Let me I'll get over here and I'll show you. I don't really want to get much closer. It is, it's really bad. Same thing. All foggy. It's not good. Not good at all. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to let this stuff dry up and remove it and start over. Maybe I don't know. I'll see what happens. I gotta let the stuff dry off before I start grabbing a sanding block. So I'll be back later. So this is the second coat of candy. It's been dried. Everything's cool. The only thing that's not cool, and I can't get it to go away. See if I can get it to show up here. It's a pretty ugly run. You can see it right there. I tried sanding it out, and it didn't do any good, except where it kind of screwed up the whole. I don't know. You can see where it was sanded. It just didn't make the run go away. So I'm making a judgment call. Much as I hate to do this, I'm sanding this back to wood, and I'm going to try something different before the base coat goes on. Maybe that'll take care of all this shitty grain that's popping through and stuff like that. I was hoping to get this thing done really fast, but fast doesn't necessarily make it any good. So I'm going to sand this thing back, and I'll be back in a little bit. All right. Well, you can see it's not red anymore. So what happened? And I'm not really sure the exact technical terminology, other than I screwed something up. But there was all sorts of things going on wrong that I could see. Maybe you guys could, but I could see it. And it was driving me nuts. And if I'm trying to sell these, they can't have stuff wrong with them. So I started over. I sanded this thing back down to wood, and then I did something that I didn't do in the previous covering, and that was use a water-soluble grain filler on the whole entire body. That's front, back, and the sides. I let that soak in, and then I rubbed it off with a towel, leaving just a film of it left, so that when it dries, there'll be very little sanding to do, and then it'll still be glass smooth, and I won't have any of those the grain marks coming through like I did before. So after this thing's sanded, and then I'll prime this. I'll let the primer dry. I'll sand that up, and then it'll be time for the color again. Well, the black base, and then the cherry pie. So hopefully it'll come out better on the next shot. I'm going to also be doing the same thing on the headstock, because let me grab the headstock, and you can see why it's not a big hit. So here it is. I got impatient, and I sanded it down and hit it with black. But see how bad that looks? Looks like somebody used a paintbrush on it. And that's what happens when you don't use grain filler. Not very cool. So I'm going to be sanding that bad boy down to wood again, and I'll rip off all the tape and start basically over. So that's what's going on. It's not really a lot of progress, but at least I know what I screwed up and how to fix it. So yeah, I'll be back on this probably tomorrow after I get home from work, and the same on the following day. So I'll be back later. All right. So now the sides, the front, the back, the whole thing has now been sanded. That was after the grain filler has been installed and dried and sand. Installed, whatever. Anyway, so I'm going to tape off the sides and toss on some primer. So I'll be back in a minute or two. All right, it's all taped off. At least the sides are. I'm not using the vinyl tape, the fine line tape, because I found out it didn't really leave such a fine line. There's a lot of stuff that leaked through. So screw it. I'll just use the scraper when I'm done, and everything will be cool. So that's it. I'm going to do the primer. I'll be back in a minute. Right on. So this is after the second coat of primer has been sprayed and dried. So I don't know. It's not looking so bad. I don't really see any grain lines or anything like that. Let me get the flashlight out, see if it sees anything different. There's a little bit of something going on right there. Yeah, there's definitely something going on there. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is probably sanding this thing with something pretty fine and really lightly, and then spray on some more primer. Yeah, gotta take care of this stuff here. It's got to not be there. So I'll be back in a little bit. Right on. So I just got done spraying a pretty good coat of primer on there. This is after it's been sanded and cleaned. I didn't think you really wanted to see that. So that's done. The only thing I'm just really not figuring something out here. So I used a grain filler, which is supposed to not leave holes. I'm using a primer filler, which is supposed to fill stuff in, but then stuff like this happens. See if I can zoom in. You see that? It's not filling in. It's just staying there. So I'm not really sure what the hell's going on there. I might just grab some putty and shove it in there, and then paint over, or not paint over it, but do another thing of primer. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. All I know is one thing I do know. I don't know a lot, but what I do know is that the water-soluble grain filler that I got from a certain mail-order company that I will not mention is not really that cool. Yeah, that's like the second or third time I've tried using it, and it just doesn't seem to perform. So I'm not going to be using that again, and I don't know. I got to find a better substitute or something. I don't know. Something's got to change. But yeah, that grain filler didn't do shit. So anyway, I'm gonna let this primer dry a little bit more, and then I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do about that the freaking divot down here in the 9th green. So yeah, I'll be back. Right on. So the primer's sprayed. Let's see if I can get a little light on this thing. So you can see right there in the reflection, there's still all those grain marks again. It looks like crap. The hole is still right there. I don't know what to do. It's practically pouring the freaking primer on this thing, and yet it just doesn't seem to fill. I don't know. Maybe somebody's got a better idea. If you do, let me know. Just holler at me. Tell me what I'm doing wrong. So anyway, I'm going to let this stuff dry up, and I'll come back on this tomorrow. So thanks for checking this out. I'm out of here. Maybe. I can get the camera to shut off.